Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and we're going to go through the next box, and we might have the snake take a poop on camera. So anyway, this is the follow-up video, the one you just saw, where he showed you 2 boxes of snakes that we took to the show with us in Kansas City. Had a great time in KC. KC, you always are good to us, so thank you so much for that. But we are going to go through the next 2 boxes now. So same show, same time, kind of what moved and what didn't. We had a straight-up head SK Xanthic, sold for $50. I mean, I was kind of surprised at that, but the truth is, there's 2 things that have happened recently at shows that I didn't think would happen. 3. We have 3 things requested. One, we had people looking for normals, and not like just a wholesale. We were already out of normals. You can see there's a normal here that sold. We'd take 2 with us, sold both of them, and ended up selling that because they just wanted a regular old looking snake. Nothing wrong with that. And then the other thing that happened was at OKC, we had somebody walk up and specifically looking for spiders, like spider ball python, spider morph, that knew all about spider. Cool deal. We sold a bunch of them. We still have a couple spiders left. We didn't really move any spiders at this show, I don't believe, but we did move all but 1 or 2 at the last show. We didn't take this one to OKC. This was its first time going out, so it's part of that. We also had somebody looking specifically for bananas. That's unusual anymore, but that was kind of cool to see. So we had a lot of that going on. You're starting to see some of those people looking for some pretty snakes. So how do we do here? Sold a normal, right? Brought home a straight mahogany. Brought home another straight ghost. This one is taking a poop, I think, or about to. We did have the snake poop on somebody again. This is another pastel head Xanthic. It was $50. We took it. Weird, right? We took this home. We sold this head SK. Took this home, sold this head SK. I don't understand it. But hey, whatever. Female, maybe. I don't know. I think on this level, female male doesn't make a whole lot of difference, to be blunt. We sold this pastel head SK. Actually, truth is, we didn't sell that. It was a big snake. We just had it too long and kind of forgot about it. And I mean, it's still fed up. It's never really messed with selling it. We have somebody, and he was going to be here today. He's not. You're going to see sometimes how you won't see him as much as you do like Caleb, but he is helping us out. He's learning. If you get a chance to teach somebody new, always take it. And since he's been helping us lately and wanted to get his first snake, he's a pretty responsible young man. He's got his mom to say yep, so we just sent that home with him. Lester passed, or sorry, not Lester, but Lester here. This actually got a lot of looks, but still came home with us. So we'll see how it goes next time. This Inchy Spider Ghost, the ghost stuff, really, we didn't do really well with the ghost stuff at this show. Usually do okay with it. It's still here. Het Clown, $30. We took it home. Head SK Xanthic, $50. We sold it. I don't always understand the whys of how some stuff moves. This is an Inchy Het Clown at $150. We took that home. A little surprised by that. This one didn't surprise me. What did surprise me, the spider, is it actually got a lot of attention, which I was really surprised about, but it did. So I ended up, when we put it in there, I thought for sure we were taking it home. I figured just take 2 or 3 shows and we'll get it sold, but I was surprised. I ended up being surprised it came home because there's a lot of people that really liked it. So then this mahogany, we brought it home also at $90. So we have quite a bit of mahogany stuff because we were really trying to get some holdbacks from the Sumo to do some projects we want to do. It's the result of that. So this is kind of how this box went. Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and you don't need another intro even though I just gave you one because this is actually cut into the second box of the 2 boxes. Actually, it's box 4. Box 1 and 2, video 1. Box 3 and 4, video 2. So we're still going over that stuff from KC. It's the same video. But my brain was like, start point. Let's just get right into it. What did we sell out of this box? What moved? Again, a really similar theme, right? The really eye-catching bright stuff in that $100 to $400 range just kind of flew around. Right here, Ivory Pastel, $250, sold. No problem. No problem at all. Another of the Het Kryptons, Het Clown ones. Because, you could go and buy a lesser. Like we had a lesser posted for $90. You could probably buy a lesser pastel. I didn't look around for them. That would probably be like $125 to $150. $300 is a big ask for some hets if you're never going to breed. So this tells me who's coming to that show. It's not necessarily people with long-term projects, right? There's a lot of people coming who are just looking for cool shit or just starting. We had to explain the genetics to a lot of people, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. This is all good things. Some people get annoyed by that, like, oh, I love those people. Why? That's how the hobby grows. You exclude those folks, or you get pissed that they're showing up, hobby doesn't grow. Those people with a billion questions that actually buy a snake, could become your best customers. They become people who end up getting deep into it. They buy one, or they're buying number 3, or they're buying number 5. They're going to be buying number 45. That's what's going to happen. Guaranteed. Not all of them, but some of them. So you just got to understand we were all there once. I love seeing those folks. This pastel Xanthic, we took it home at $300 for a female. I was kind of surprised by that. Kind of figured it'd go away. But we did take it home. And again, this is part of that microeconomy, right? At the last show we were at in OKC, man, we had 2 pastel Xanthics, sold one, brought one home. People looked at them all day long. They were the more popular snakes on the table. A lot of people looked at that. Here, I don't think I took this snake out once to show it to somebody. And I pointed out a couple times, people like, well, I'm looking for something like this. I'm like, well, we got this, or this. Never really got any traction on it. Now, if it was OKC, if we'd have had a day 2 at OKC, or day 3, I guess, we'd have sold it. If we went to OKC now and have the same crowd, we'd sell this again. But that one wasn't happening. So there it's set. This pinstripe, however, had a lot of look. Saw people who liked the pin. We had 3 pins with us. For all the looking at pin, I did bring all 3 home. So it did not sell. It stayed right there. We had our last blood python we released to the public, sold that thing. And it actually sold to another vendor, which is awesome. You know, my favorite sales are kids. I love selling to kids, man, because you just get to make their day. It is the best feeling in the world when you get to sell to some kids. We had a cool thing happen, too. I'll share on Patreon, plus on a cool story about the show. Curt said we should do a cool story video on Patreon, so that's what we're going to do. But kids, and then I also like selling to other vendors. When you have another reptile vendor who appreciates someone wants to buy it, man, that feels really good, right? So that actually sold to another vendor. That was awesome. Although it is a cool story on that, so it'll be one of the 3 cool stories we share on Patreon. Fire Calico at $200. Maybe a little high on that. I don't know, but it's a really nice example of fire, I think. Look at that head stamp. You know, the way the calico is in those, it doesn't show up as much, doesn't have as much white, but it's definitely there. Really good looking animal. We ended up taking it home. This is a really nice version of scaleless head in that pin. That pin scaleless head is really awesome. If you look at the pattern here and the pattern here, you can kind of see some of the influence pin or scaleless head can have above and beyond just full-blown scaleless. We ended up taking that home. It didn't get much look and love. This one did. I figured this one was going to leave us. I thought maybe this one, and I think we'll have to sell both those to remove the pin HRA, because the pin HRA is just so much darker, it doesn't have as much pop, even though unless we find somebody who wants to get some HRA projects. Calico at 70, sold that thing pretty easy. Pied at 250, I could have sold about 10 of those, I think. We sold that pretty easy. Pastel yellow belly scaleless head female at 250. I thought we were going to sell that because the pastel yellow belly is really nice and bright, really pretty animal. We ended up keeping that. So we had 3 pins, kept them, 3 scaleless head, kept them. Another mahogany, $90 female, really nice one. Kept that. Again, I think part of it was just what people are looking for. A mahogany is not as bright and poppy in and of itself. We're going to have, so what you can do on that, guys, when you run into that, like you have an animal like this and it's not going to be a nice, bright pop type sale. What I like to do is when you have somebody who wants to get into breeding, they're wanting to kind of get their feet wet, I will show them that animal as part of a combination. Like that animal along with that pastel mahogany male, I will probably sell both of those at the same time. Why? Because we're going to talk about, hey, we can put them together. We can do this for you. And then if you breed just those 2 animals, you're going to get mahoganies, pastels, pastel mahoganies, sumas, and suma pastels. And you can show off how cool that suma is. And then bang. The other thing that you can do, which we can't do right now, because if we had it, it would be awesome, is if I had 3 or 4 sumas laying around, I would not take them all. I would take only one while I have these mahoganies, and I would use that suma to help sell those mahoganies, right? Hey, 2 of these makes this, and bang, they're going to fly off the shelf. Didn't have a suma to do that. When any of the sumas there, that kind of hurt us. At least no sumas that I saw. This one here, you can't hardly read the writing, but I know what it was. It was our last carpet python we had laying around. It sold, so it's gone. So oddities sold really well. Again, we always, if you have a handful of oddities, and I'm not talking like half a table of blood pythons, half table of ball pythons. I'm talking, which you could do that, I didn't know that, but in our situation, we had a handful of oddities. We were able to move those pretty easy. The next show we go to, we're not going to have that advantage because we're out of those right now, unless they'd let me take some rattlesnakes. So I'm going to guess they probably won't do that. Don't know why. But anyway, that's where we're at. So that is kind of everything that's sold. Curt and I are going to put these up, put these boxes up. We're going to come on the Patreon. I'm going to share 3 stories with you of fun and crazy things that happen at the show. Some are a little bit more crazy than others. Some are just fun. And that's part of what makes this experience so much better, right? I've long said, before COVID, during COVID, and I still stand by it today. I prefer to sell at a show than I do online. I may not get as much money sometimes doing that, but I enjoy the adventure aspect. A big part of why you get into ball pythons for me is I enjoy the animals. I enjoy doing something with friends of mine. I enjoy going and seeing people. Like, I'm running to Steve there. Friends of Reptiles is there, and Flat Mountain Python's there. I ran into Celtic Balls there, who I know. I say Steve, I'm talking about a Reptile and Facebook. You just run into people and I'm leaving a bunch of them out, and I love doing that. So for me, the show is always more rewarding. When we are stuck not going to shows, I don't want to say I lose my interest, but I lose a part of it. When we're going to shows, I am more excited about working my animals. I'm more excited about what I'm doing because there's this other fun caveat, traveling like, just dirt ass cheap. And I kind of like that. I actually kind of like that shit a lot. So for me, it's a big, big deal. Curt, you want to add?
No.
Do you have a preference for online or at shows?
I like the shows.
Okay. I figured Curt might actually say online. We didn't pregame this. I'm glad he likes the shows because it means he'll enjoy doing that more along with me. But some of you are probably saying, Jesus Christ, man, I'm hearing you talking. I hate going to shows. I hate vending at shows. I hate talking to people. Look, it's okay. This is not saying that, I like shows are the only way. Some people prefer online. Some people like me have a face for radio. It's what, actually I don't, I'm pretty sexy. It's whatever, man. It is whatever. So like, whatever you like to do, do it. I like shows. It's my favorite way to sell. I'm so happy we're back going to them. 3 in a month, like this month is going to be a little bit of a heavy load. We probably won't always do that. But as long as we have animals coming in and the ability, the way we're going to start, how we're going to start doing our releases and breeding, we'll probably be at shows more frequently throughout the year. That being said, don't get too excited if you're way out. Most of the shows are still going to be Kansas City, Lincoln, things that I can get to in one day and back. We had a much better experience. I didn't think I was going to get shot. I felt like I was going to get shot in OKC at the Meth Tel. But it's just an easier, quicker time. So we'll be doing a lot of those. We will get some 2-day shows, some things out there as well. Curt, you want to add?
Nope.
All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.